Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Aqueduct Racetrack here on Saturday. It is April the 9th, 2016. It's Wood Memorial Day. It's an excellent card of racing. I'm going to look at all the stakes races. And before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5 for more selections. The stakes races I'm going to be looking at are, well, all of them. They are races 3, 8, 9, 10, 11. Those are races 3, 8, 9, 10, 11. I don't know why they just didn't put them all back to back to back, why have the Excelsior race 3 make an all stakes pick 5? But I personally like it. I like the all stakes pick 4. I don't like what Gulfstream did a few times during the winter. Second, fifth. Not they'll stick like some like allowance race. I hate that so much. But or some stupid maiden claim race on a turf at a mile like quarter. But it's an excellent card of racing. The Wood Memorial, probably one of the best, a memory from years past, about 11 years now. One of the best horses, I've seen a lot of good horses at Aqueduct, and one of the best horses I think I've ever seen in person is Bellamy Road, winning that Wood Memorial easy, by like something like 20, 17, 20 lengths, something like that. It's probably, I don't have a top 3, but there are 3 that always come to mind. Bellamy Road, of course. Smarty Jones winning the Count Fleet Stakes in 2004. That was something. And the Street Cat winning the Scar Mile of 2006. That was my birth. It was my birthday that day. And then we went to over the Yonkers to see the trotting or something, or pacing Triple Crown winner, something like that. But we have a lot of action to get to. Let's get to it. Race 3 today from Aqueduct. It's a race with a lot of history. It's the 104th running of the Excelsior Handicap. Grade 3 purse $200,000 for 4-year-olds and upwards. And I believe when I went in 2005, when I think it was Wood Memorial Day, they ran this. Awfully Wild, I think, won or something like, or St. Liam, something like that. I know I saw Awfully Wild run in this race. I believe Funny Side ran in this race one year also. But a lot of history with this race. Only 5 horses traveling the distance of a mile and a quarter in this year's Excelsior. This is for 4-year-olds and upwards. You don't see this distance run a lot at Aqueduct, so when they have it, it's a great race to handicap. It's a great race here. And I'm going to go do a trifecta key here, or an exact key. I'm going to key in on the 4 horse, Made from Lucky at 2 to 1. I'm going to put that horse on top of my ticket with the 1-2 underneath. For $1 exact box, it's going to cost you $2. For a 50-cent try key, it's going to cost you $1. But Made from Lucky, 2 to 1, needs the extra distance around what he's getting today, which is pretty good. Last time out, ran Aqueduct Mile 8th in the Stymie Stakes, $125,000. Finished 3rd by 2 lengths that day. And he was just outkicked. That was the horse's first start since coming up here north. Start 4 that was in the Don handicap. Finished 8th by 11 3/4 lengths that day against a very tough field. So it was understanded why this horse did bad that day. Finished this horse then ran the Howlands Holiday. Finished second by 3/4 length. Had a decent second place finish that day. Was a little bit wide, but And then this horse ran on the slop. We're gonna get probably rain today. It's gonna be a wet course in the Discovery handicap on the main track here at Aqueduct back in November. So horse finished second by 4.5 lengths, and he needed that extra bit of ground. He's getting it today. He proved himself over the wet surface, 2-0 over it, but has 2 second place finishes. The other second place finish was behind American Pharaoh in last year's Rebel. So it's going to be my top selection here. So recap my bets for the 3rd race from Aqueduct here in Wood Memorial Day. It's the Excelsior handicap. Going to go with the 4 horse, Made from Lucky. Going to do an exact or trifecta key, 4 with the 1-2. So now we're going to go head on to race number 8, the 8th race on today's program. If we could scroll down with the music in the background. The 8th race. That's going to be my theme song. But the 8th race, it is another race rich in history. I should just count up the years of. I love history, by the way, but I should just count up the years each race has been run. Let's see, 103 was the last one, 121. That's a lot of years. That's 224 years between 2 races so far. But it's the 8th race. It's the 121st running of the Gazelle. Grade 2, purse $300,000 for fillies, 3-year-olds. Field of 7 horses. This is a wide open race. I could have went at least three horses deep. I will have a pick 4 ticket up. I just have to figure it out. It is Friday. I'm making this video early Friday, so the pick 4 ticket will be up on my Twitter handle at Horse Racing Kid 5. Mile and the 8th are traveling once around the main track. And I went with the two horse here as a top selection, Lewis Bay at 8 to 5 with Irad Ortiz. I'm gonna keep that horse on top of my ticket with the for my super key two with the 3, 4, 5, 7 for a 10-cent super. It's gonna cost you $2.40. But number two, Lewis Bay, Chad Brown for Chad Brown changed this one. Irad Ortiz is on this one. Is Aaron Ortiz Jr. is riding this one. Can't speak. Last time out, ran Gulfstream Park in Devona Dale Stakes on the 27th of February. Finished second by 7 lengths that day and had a decent second place finish. Was a little bit wide, he had to go wide at the quarter pole, had to go wide earlier before that, and got up to second. But Catherine Sophia is just an incredible horse. Really, that horse just is a freak. Running actually in the Ashland, I believe, at Keeneland today. So yeah, remember that. And then was Al Stakes, mile and eighth here at Aqueduct as a 2-year-old back in November. Won by 1 3/4 lengths. Got the lead that day in the upper stretch and just really went clear. This horse has proven herself on this kind of going around 2 turns. That's a big thing. At the distance has proven herself, and also this horse has proven herself on the mud. 6 furlongs, first career start was a main specialty on the mud. 6 furlongs at Belmont. Finished second by half length. Had a decent second place finish. Was on the lead all throughout. Got edged away by the winner that day. But this horse should really do well tomorrow. So to recount my bets for race number 8 from Aqueduct, it is the 121st edition of the Gazelle. Gonna go with the 2 horse. Gonna do Super Factor Key 2 with the 3, 4, 5, 7 for 10 cents. It's going to cost you $2.40. So now let's get on to race number 9 from Aqueduct. The 9th race is this race hasn't been around for 100 years, only 56 years. The 9th race is the 56th edition of the Bayshore. Grade 3, purse $300,000 for 3-year-olds. All these races have always been my favorite race from Aqueduct. This is probably one of my favorite, times of the year, race days of the year. Definitely my favorite at Aqueduct. Cigar Mile Day comes a close second, but this day is so good. Like I said, I always like to go on Wood Memorial Day. I don't think I'm going to be going this year. I don't want to be freezing since it's going to be like 40 degrees. So and it's going to be raining. I do not want to sit outside or sit inside. When I go to a racetrack, I want to be outside, get the fresh air. I don't want to be free. I don't want to be sitting outside because I could do that at home and watch on a TV. But this race, the Bayshore field of 8 horses traveling 7 furlong distance. And I went again. I'm going to do a superfecta key. Going to key in on the 5-horse Unified for Jose Ortiz this time. Going to key that horse on top with the 4, 6, 7, 8 on the bottom for a 10-cent super key. It's going to cost you $2.40. But Unified, number 5, 2-1, Jose Ortiz for Jimmy Jurgens at a Candy Ride. They bought this horse at the Face It Tipton sale August 2014 for $325,000. But last time out has 1 career start on the 21st of February. Gulfstream Park 6-furlong workout. Special weight. This horse won by 3 lengths, was on the lead all throughout, and just was very clear. Very nice victory. Originally, I didn't have this horse on my ticket. I have to say, I was looking at the replays. What my strategy of handicapping is first look at the race form. I'll have like a separate piece of paper, like one of those yellow notepad papers. I don't have one like basically like this. I'll just write down the numbers. And I'll go watch the replays of the horses that look good on on paper and see how their trips are. Originally I didn't have her on there, but after looking at the replay, I think this horse is a real contender, or he's a contender here. Has been working out at Palm Meadows last week, 5-furlong workout and a minute flats, the best workout of 21. Of the other horses I do have on my ticket, the 4, 6, and the 7 and 8. It's a the 6 horse looks very nice also, I must say. The 6 and the 8. If I had to, probably in the pick 3 scenario, I would go or the pick 4 scenario, I would go 5, 6, 8. I believe this race is part of the Big Apple, Bluegrass Big Apple pick 4. I'm going to have a tick for that on Twitter also. So I'd probably go 5, 6, 8 in a pick 4 sequence, but as a superfecta play for $2.40, I'm gonna probably be keen on the 5. He looked very good in his first career start. So recap my bets for the 9th race, the Bayshore from Aqueduct. Gonna go with the 5 horse here. Gonna do superfecta key 5 with the 4, 6, 7, 8 for 10 cents. Gonna cost you $2.40. Now to the feature 10th race from Aqueduct. It's the 92nd running of the Wood Memorial. Grade 1 purse $1 million for 3-year-olds. Field of 8 horses traveling 1 mile and 1/8. and it's just a great running of the Wood Memorial this year. No horse has won the Wood Memorial to no horse has from the Wood Memorial to win the Derby. No, let me put it this way. Can't speak. See, it's 4:30 in the morning. I shouldn't do these things at 4:30 in the morning. But the last winner of the Wood Memorial to win the Derby was Fusaichi Pegasus, I believe, in 2000, I think. I think I was there that day. That was a killer race too, but I really liked Bellamy Road run. And the last horse to run in this race to win the Derby, I believe, was Funny Side. So no horse has done it since. You're gonna hear that probably on all the broadcasts, because I know there's an NBC broadcast. Probably you're gonna hear that in the Derby broadcast in a few weeks. I think it's about time some horse from this race wins the Derby again. You have to look at the horse. Secretary ran this race. I believe he lost this race, or something like that. I believe his stablemate beat him, and then he won the Derby triple and the Triple Crown. But it's a race with a lot of history, and yeah, I'm gonna go through every horse in this race. Number one, Shigaf at 2-1. I have him on my ticket here, in a superfecta. He hasn't been really challenged with the horses he's been running against on the inner track. Not to give to knock the horses that ran against him in the Gotham. I think he's going to be facing a lot tougher competition with some of the horses that are coming in from the south, from Gulfstream, like Outwork and Tail Seville. But he's going to get some. He's going to get tested today. With that being said, he's on the super ticket. Maybe I might put him on the pick four ticket, but as a top selection, I don't as a top like putting money across the board on or money to win on him. I don't think I would be that safe with him. He is undefeated. Going around the big mile and eighth should be something today. Also, he did look very tired in the stretch run of the Gotham. I must say. Also, the track was playing more towards speed, I believe, that day, or you had to be on the lead. So he is on my super ticket. Maybe on the pick four ticket. You'll have to check me out on Twitter for that. But number two, Adventist at 10-1, Kendrick Kermouche. Again, this one I do have on my ticket. We'll have to do a lot to win today. At any given Saturday, who I believe ran in this race in 2007, something like that. 2006, 2007. I know Bob and John won this race about 10 years ago from California, I believe, or Bob's Blackjack, something like that, on the slop. I remember that day because that was just a horrible day. That's why I don't want to go if it rains. I believe any given Saturday either ran this race or Bluegrass. But this horse, only won 6 furlongs. As a closer or something like that, maybe this horse could get up there or stalk the lead, but it's not going to be. He's not going to be on my pick four ticket. This is more towards the bottom play of my superfecta. The 3-horse Trojan Nation, Aaron Grider at 31. Will have to do a hell of a lot. This horse has never won. For Patrick Gallagher sending this one in from the West Coast, has a really good workout, but 5-1 workout, 59-4 last week. I'm not a big fan of of seeing workouts of like 59-4 from like Sandy to then shipping over to Wood to Aqueduct running the Wood Memorial, something like that, because I'd rather see like they did for Nyquist, give him like a light workout and then ship him across town. Or, because the shipping does take a lot out of horses. He's not a use for me on any of my tickets. The 4-horse Tail of Seville, I do have him on a tickets for Superfecta. He'll have to do a hell of a lot to win. I think it's 20-1 for Cornelio Velasquez Barkley Tag, who won this race, I believe, who actually ran Funny Side in this race in 2003. Empire Maker won in 2003, but he'll have to do a lot. 5th in Tampa Bay Derby last time out. That was the horse's first start since October the 3rd, since the Champagne on the slop. Finished 5th by 7 1/4 lengths. Did not really handle the slop that day. This horse was actually entered to run in the Brews Cup Juvenile and got scratched out of it, so remember that also. Has been working out in Florida. 5-furlong workout, Palm Meadows, in a minute flat, the best workout of 5. So yes, I'm going to use this horse probably in my superfecta. Number 5, flexibility here for Chad Brown. Last time on the Withers, really finished 4th that day. First start in about, let's say, 1, 2, 2.5 months or something like that. The Source was the favorite, just got outkicked by the winner, Sunny Ridge. Velocity finished second, and Adventist finished third that day. But he had a. It was a weird race, just weakened that day. Won the Jerome in early January. This horse, and he ran really well in Jerome. I believe I have him on a ticket also. He'll have to do a hell of a lot to win. Not my top selection. Number six, Matt King Cole. Looking at the running line, it's I don't have this on any of my tickets, and this is going to be the wise guy horse, I think, for the superfecta. I might put this horse down on the superfecta for third and fourth, facing company of stakes company of this much. He'll have to do a whole lot of running to really win today. I know people might say, I know a few people say this is their top selection. I'm third or fourth maybe on the superfecta ticket, but not really to win. Not my top. Not. I don't fancy this horse. Number seven, Dalmore, 12-1 for Keith DeSormo, who trains this one, bringing this one in from San Anita. Junior Alvarado gets them out. Has only won once. That was the 25th of March, about 2 weeks ago now, 3 weeks ago, at a mile 16 at San Anita. Won by 2.5 lengths. It was underneath the lead all throughout, but this horse is stepping up to stakes company. Like I said, this horse will have to do a lot. Has been pretty good by staying in the money. Maybe I would use this horse for like a third or fourth place finish in the Super. Not to win for sure. Colonel John. I think Colonel John might have. I don't know. For some reason, I think Colonel John ran in this race 2008, but it just comes to mind, but I might be wrong. And the 8 horse, who is Outwork, my top selection here, 5-2 for Rapoli Stables for Todd Pletcher, this Kentucky bred out of Uncle Mo. Last time out in the Tampa Bay Derby, finished second by a length that day after about a month layoff. Ran a really decent second place finish. Just got taken over by Destin. This horse really dug in. Very nice start. That was the horse's first start going around 2 turns, so remember that also. Start before that was at 6 furlongs at Tampa Bay. Optional 7-5 claimer 9 was won by 4.5 lengths. Started to lead all throughout and really ran well. And then first career start and maiden special weight Keeneland last April, won by 2.25 lengths. Really was very impressive that day. Gonna go with this one. Top selection here. 5-2. I know there's not a lot you could do. Mike Foley, who is actually his family, my family actually knows his family really well. But this horse should really do well here today. So recap my bets for the 10th race from Aqueduct, the Wood Memorial. I'm gonna go with the 8 horse Outwork. Gonna do a superfecta key right now of the 8 with the 1, 2, 4, 5. I'm gonna put the 7 and the 6 maybe on the bottom 2 places also. So good. So going with this one. So now let's get on to race number 11. I forgot about race number 11. The 11th race is the 116th running of the Carter Handicap. Grade 1 purse $400,000 for 4-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 8 horses, and this is a wide open race. I think. I know a lot of people might go over to what's his name to what's his name forgot his name. 7 furlongs. And to go over to Salutos Amigos, like I did, but I think for the superfecta key, I'll put him on top. But for a pick 4 sequence, I would probably go a few deep in this race. But I'm going to go 5. The 5 horse Salutos Amigos is going to be my top selection. I'm going to go 5 with the 2, 3, 7, 8 for a 10-cent super. It's going to cost you $2.40. But number 5 Salutos Amigos. Cornelio Velasquez, Dave Jacobson, last time out at Aqueduct, 6 furlongs and Tom Fool handicap. Horse won by 2.5 lengths, really closed up well that day. Just an incredible race. And the Paulos Verdo Stakes at San Anita on the 7th of February. Really finished, had a good second place finish that day by half length, really closed off, just needed the extra little, half furlong to get up there. At Aqueduct, this horse is 5-3. One of those blemishes, one of those races where he didn't finish in the money was the last year's Fall Highway. Had a horrible trip that was 5 wide. Was at the 7th path at 3/16 full. Really couldn't get a good close that day. At the distance, 7-2, 2 wins, 0 second place finishes, 1 third. I think this horse should really do well. I just the thing that scares me is the 7 furlongs really, but with that being said, yeah, I would if this race was at 6 furlongs, this would be a single. Since it's at 7, I'm a little iffy, so I would probably go a few deep in this race for the pick four. So to recap my bets for the 11th race, the Carter Handicap from Aqueduct. Gonna go with the 5 horse Salutos Migos. Gonna do a superfecta key 5 with 2, 3, 7, 8. So good luck to all and follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5. Good luck, everybody.